First of all, I'd like to thank Damon. Thank you, Damon, for your donation. And thank you for your kindness. For those that, when you go to Damon's channel, I'll put a link to Damon's channel in the description of this video. But he's a really nice guy, and he is a game developer, and he does it himself, and has some really nice people that follow him and play his games. Anyway, he does a great Sherlock Holmes impression, and he's just a nice guy. I like the guy personally, and I also like his accent. He's from the UK, and I love his accent, and I like his personality. He has a nice personality. He's a nice guy, so it's the kind of channel that is just kind of fun to go and listen, and I don't know, just spend a little bit of time watching him. He's a fun guy. Anyway, thanks, Damon. Anyway, getting back to the real world, I'm so tired of what's going on with our country. Now they're trying to defund the police. Either they defund or dismantle the police. They won't stop. They won't stop at anything, and it's unbelievable to me. I'm so sick of hearing about Black Lives Matter and the 2-block painting of Black Lives Matter that they did in Washington, D.C. And then they added to it with no authority to add to it, to defund the police in great big yellow letters. I don't think there's anybody that saw the video of George Floyd that thinks it's a disgrace what the police did to him. No one can look at that and think it's a disgrace, and it's a horrible thing, a tragic thing that happened to George Floyd, regardless of his past history of arrests or whatever George Floyd has done in his past life. That should never have happened to him or anybody else. And for over a week, I think it's over a week now, we've heard nothing but George Floyd and all these protesters that actually protesting is one thing, and it's okay, but to loot buildings and to smash windows and to burn buildings down and to steal innocent people's inventory and ruin their businesses and hurt cops and just be a complete terror on the streets of the United States is not okay. That's not okay. Now they want to defund the police or dismantle the police. There's no stopping them. The instigators, or whatever you call them, that are putting these things together and trying to agitate the black people and the other people that want to be criminals and loot and cause havoc. And it's just the situation is completely out of control. The cops have, in a lot of cases, have been told to stand down and not to do anything. Don't get involved. Let the protesters vent. And I mean, the looters they loot these buildings, and they're right in the face of cops. They're taunting cops and making fun of cops because the cops don't do anything about it. The cops are way outnumbered, number one. But even though they have weapons, they've been asked to kind of just, don't get involved with it. And so it's a free-for-all. I care about black lives. I care about white lives. I care about brown lives, green lives, purple lives, unborn lives. I care about all people's lives. And it's a racist thing. These people that have supposedly tried to let the world know how unfair and how unjust George Floyd's death was. And nobody disagrees with that. Everybody agrees with that. They have turned that and caring about George Floyd into a race war, into something that has just become unhinged. I mean, it's just so sickening. I'm so done of hearing about Black Lives Matter and George Floyd. I know that what happened to George is horrible. I agree. No one disagrees with that. So what in the world are these people protesting? What are you protesting for? We're not little kids where we have to hear about it, 10,000 times before it goes into our head. We know it was unjust. You didn't have to tell us it was unjust and it was bad, and it shouldn't happen again. It shouldn't happen to another George Floyd. It shouldn't happen to another black person. It shouldn't happen to another white person. Are you protesting? Is there protesting and great big letters in different streets of the country about the black cop that was killed? Is there any protesting going on about him? Doesn't his life matter? Doesn't his life matter? Isn't his family in pain as much as George Floyd's family's in pain? Doesn't his life matter? Doesn't all life matter? If all black lives matter, then let's look at some protest about a protester that killed this black cop. I think there's other cops that have been killed as well. Let's look at some protest about him and them. How about some protests about ruining the lives of thousands of innocent people and families by burning down their stores and stealing their inventories, ruining their life? Do lives matter? Are you telling me that lives matter? You've even burned down the store, at least one person I know, of a black woman that was out there talking about black lives apparently don't matter because you burned her store down, and she's a black woman. It's just so sad to see the United States being destroyed over people that are hell-bent on destroying this country. Antifa, all the people that are engaged in doing everything they can to destroy this country and destroy President Trump with no regards to any life. Just so sad. It's just such a sad thing. How many days are you going to protest? What happens when there's another black person that's killed? Another police officer kills another black person. Whether it's that he might have stole something or he's trying to escape or whatever the case may be, regardless of the case is and the circumstances, it's going to be hell. You're going to have the United States pay hell for it. And it's just an excuse for a lot of people. It's an excuse to just go out and raise hell. If look what you've done. Look what you've done to America. All in the name of George Floyd. Do you think George Floyd really wants you to do all this chaos and destruction to America? If he is in heaven, do you think he's looking down on you people and all the destruction and hurt that you've caused thousands of lives? Do you think he's up there smiling? Do you think the angels are singing and the praises of George Floyd and how grateful the angels are and how grateful God is and Jesus is that you're destroying innocent people's lives, thousands of them? You're destroying America. You're burning down our cities. Do you think they're up there rejoicing and praising how wonderful it is? I think in 100 years, you're all going to find out. You're all going to see what the consequences are of stupid actions. You're having, some of you, not all of you, some of you are legitimate protesters. And like I said, no one disagrees. It's a terrible tragedy what happened to George Floyd. But people that are thinking properly certainly don't want to destroy lives of innocent people. In whose name? In whose name are you destroying innocent lives? People that weren't tied to George Floyd. People that are just good people that just want to try to put food on their table and have enough money to pay bills and to raise their families. You've destroyed their lives by having fun and thinking it's funny and thinking it's fun to taunt cops and burn police cars and smash windows and break into, haul safes out of buildings and break ATMs. Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable to me what's happened and what's happening. And there's a percentage of people that are quote unquote protesting that don't give a crap. They think it's fun. Hell, they steal what they want, Why not go in and steal from people? Are you people that are stealing things and burning buildings down and so forth? Are you thinking about, as you're doing it, are you thinking about George Floyd? Or are you thinking about yourself? And you're trying to make a point. What point are you trying to make? You people that are doing this and causing trouble and destroying America, you're doing the complete opposite of what you wanted to do, or what you say you wanted to do. You say that, you want people to know about George Floyd. People know about George Floyd. People feel sorry about George Floyd. And you're doing just the opposite of what you supposedly wanted to do. When years from now, when people hear the name of George Floyd, they're not going to think about what you think that we should think about. They're going to think about the destruction, the burning of cities, the ruining of people's lives, the rioting, the unfairness of it all. That's what they're going to think about. They're not going to honor the name of George Floyd. You have taken that honor away from George Floyd by doing the things that you've done. People are not going to have a soft, tender spot in the heart of George Floyd because of what you people have done. They're going to think about the destruction of America, the destruction of people's lives, innocent people's lives that had nothing to do with George Floyd's death. That's what they're going to think about. The rioting, all the nonsense. They'll still care about George Floyd, but they're going to care a lot more about what happened to America and what some of you people have done to America. And you don't care. There's no consequences. If you get arrested, big deal. You'll be out in a few hours or a day or two. Well, it's a revolving thing, Go to be arrested, get fingerprinted, get mugshot, and you're out again, baby. You can do it all over again. You got a green light to be the biggest asshole you can possibly be. There's no consequences. You people that think there's no consequences and you're getting away with all this stuff, which you are, you're getting away with all this stuff. When everybody's gone, and you're in heaven, if you get to heaven, and I don't think you will, but on Judgment Day, you're going to find out what true judgment and true justice is. You're not going to think it's so funny. You're going to not have that smirk on your face. You're not going to do this to God. You're going to have fun for the rest of eternity. This life's nothing. 70, 80 years of life's nothing compared to forever. You like flames? You'll be in flames forever, baby, in hell. You have no idea what you people are doing. Some of you people, not all of you. You have no idea what you're doing. And you don't care what you're doing. That's the bizarre point or part. You don't care. When you get to the next world, after this life, then you're going to care. But guess what? It's going to be too late. You can't go back in time and take everything back. You can't go like this and rebuild all those stores that you've burned down. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to me. You think it's a big joke and it's a big free-for-all. You may think it's fun now, but in the next life, you're going to find out how fun it really is. And if it was worth it or not to go through this period of time you're going through and doing the things you're doing. Oh well. Anyway, I'm so tired of it all. I went out yesterday. It was a rainy day here yesterday. Cold. That's why I'm wearing a jacket today and a sweater. It's cold. Cold for summertime. And anyway, when I went outside, and I've heard it for a couple of days, but I was hearing these little birds that were in a nest in one of my trees out there. And they were chirping. Must have been, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 of them maybe. They were chirping for food. Innocent little creatures of God. Innocent. Chirping because they were hungry. And mother, father, birds were out finding worms for them and food for them to take back to the sweet little birds that were chirping, the innocent birds that were chirping. That is what's important. Not defunding the place. Love. Love is important. But these sweet little chirping birds, isn't love the answer? Isn't caring about life the answer? Whether it's the life of a human being or a life of an animal? Why in the world do some of you people want to ruin people's lives? I just don't get it. You want to defund police? Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if somebody breaks in your house and is trying to do harm to your house or your kids, and you have your cell phone in your hand? Who are you going to call? You're not going to call Ghostbusters. If there's no police department, you're not going to call them. Who are you going to call? Who are you going to call to help your sorry ass out of a problem? Who are you going to call? Huh? You're not thinking. You people are not thinking ahead. Yes, there's bad cops. And there's also good cops. And you can say that in any walk of life. I think that you need to change your signs that you hold to all lives matter, whether it's a black person, whether it's a white person, whether it's a male or female, a cop, whoever it is, all lives matter. All lives are important. We are the children of one God. God cares about each of us. He wants us to be good to people. Change your signs to from Black Lives Matter, which is an insult to white people, complete insult. Change your signs to all lives matter. Everybody's life's important. Everybody should love each other. I think one of the commandments that God has given to us, even you people that don't believe in God or don't care about God, you're having too much fun now, messing around and having a good time. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Those are the words to live by. Unbelievable.